doubt it. My homies know you ain't ratted. We break you down like a pound. I got it, don't panic surround me. I'm corrupted, flow cold and it's rugged, bumpy. What is up? I'm ready for war. You got to love it like blah, yeah. And it feel like, yeah. All day like, yeah. All night like, yeah. Whole squad like, what? And it feel like, yeah. All day like, yeah. All night like, what? Whole squad like, yeah. And it feel like, yeah. All day like, yeah. All night like, yeah. Whole squad like, yeah. And it feel like, yeah. All day like, yeah. All night like, yeah. You don't want problems. You don't want smoke, no. You don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems. You don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems. You don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. No, I said you don't want problems. You don't want smoke, dog. You don't want.
We are sandwiched between Fort Worth and Dallas, Texas, and Arlington at the luxurious AT&T Stadium. A moment ago, here was the scene with the Cowboys emerging from their tunnel. It was loud. It's still loud. We're ready for football as the Cowboys get set to match up with the Miami Dolphins. It's an Indian summer afternoon. Perfect conditions for football, and off we go on EA Sports. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And some Tavon Austin, he's going to go. Past the 20. Touchdown, Cowboys. He goes 102 yards from one end zone to the other as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. So a heck of a start to this one. We haven't even gotten settled in already in the end zone on the opening kickoff.
And you know what happens, too? Now you got to translate what that means, because I think for a team that just scored, their defense, I think they'll be more aggressive now. They'll be bolder. They're playing with a lead and an early one and some momentum. So if you're the offensive coordinator on the other side of the field, you'd better be prepared for some heavy pressure coming your way. They're going to try and get another big score and a big one early.
So now the other return teams out there, as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Now a man who really stepped up last year. This is Matt Breida. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A big hitter there. A first down gain of 26 yards.
I know that play went to the left side, and that's what it was designed to do, an outside handoff there. But how about the whole offensive line being involved? Seal the left side where the play was going, what they call play side. But how about on the back side? Just taking care of business to make sure no one can get there and disrupt it.
Is the biggest key the left tackle?
Without a doubt. Control that edge. Get out there. You want that left tackle. If you bring your tight end over there, either way, control the edge of the line of scrimmage. You got a chance to rumble.
And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. DeMarcus Lawrence able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations, because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
Gotta hope that's not a sign of things to come as they face an early second and long. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
Well, he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
3rd and long here for Rosen. Pressure comes, and down goes Rosen. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
Now Austin. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And that will come the offense as they take over. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 23. Now Prescott. He finds Randall Cobb on the completion. The play began back at the 23, and they pick up 23.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes, and just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
They'll run with Elliott. In on the stop defensively, Raekwon McMillan.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
3rd and long for Prescott. And he's got Ezekiel Elliott. And he's going to come up a few yards short. Brought down at the 45. They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a 4th down. So on 4th down, here's Chris Jones to punt it away. Jakeem Grant back deep for Miami. And he punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they will start this drive with just terrible field position backed up inside their own 5.
But we have seen teams be bold here and take shots, right? Sometimes you go max protection, make it a 1-receiver route, and take your shot downfield and see what happens. And occasionally, we've seen success occur.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. On 2nd down, a run with Breida. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a 1st down, pick it up, and keep moving.
And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
What a catch, and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them.
They get a little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game. That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. The threat of a 2nd straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack. Tyrone Crawford able to drop him for a loss of 2, and that will bring up 4th down. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Here's Austin. Oh, I nearly broke that one. As it stands, though, a heck of a 36-yard run back. And the Cowboys are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. On the counter, Elliott. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
They'll try the right side with Elliott. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
A first opportunity in the red zone for the Cowboys. They have a 1st and 10 at the 18. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Trying to get it to Cobb, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Minkah Fitzpatrick. And he's into the clear. The 40, the 20, 10. And he will bring it back. It's a pick-6 and a Dolphins touchdown.
All day, baby. Let's get this.
Make it back-to-back weeks now with a pick-6 for him. He had one a week ago.
Talk about being in the groove, and what are the odds of what we're seeing right here? You don't see it happen very often. Listen, if you get a pick-6 in a season, it's been a big year, let alone back-to-back weeks. Tell you this, I wouldn't play cards against this guy in the locker room.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And taking a gander at the NFL scoreboard in Minneapolis. Early on, it's the Vikings in the driver's seat. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. A first down run, good for about 3. And 7 coming up.
Gotcha on the tackle. It's a pickup of 3.
That's it,
brings
baby.
up 2nd and 7 at the 35-yard line.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Man, I got you. Slam.
Now with just 1 second showing on the play clock, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. From the 35 on 2nd down, Prescott connects here with a tight end, Blake Jarwin. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 41-yard line.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. They'll run on first down. It's Elliott, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Draw play, Elliott. And once Once again, the Dolphin defense holds firm as they'll stop him behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
The last 2 plays each lose a yard. They'll try to move forward here on 3rd and 12. Looking to throw. Prescott. They'll let this go for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Raekwon McMillan. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup.
1st down, Miami.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Once again, they run with Breida on 1st down. Tyrone Crawford in on the tackle.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Rosen. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd. Pressure comes, and down goes Rosen.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
He's been a busy man here in this 1st half as he gets it away. This is taken at about the 14. It takes a touchdown-saving tackle to bring him down as he goes 32 yards on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10. He's got the 1st down and more inside the 40. And down to the 29-yard line. 25 yards the pickup there, and also a 1st down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory as they're down to the 29-yard line. And only able to muster a couple down to about the 27.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Give him 14 on that one and a 1st down. Offensive line right now really freeing up the rushing lanes on this drive.
And we have to give them props. They've earned them. But these big runs that we're seeing, they don't result without everyone else being involved as well. Blocking on the perimeter has to take place downfield too.
And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
At the 14-yard line.
There we go. Slide in. 52. 52. We're going to 54. Line in. Check 26.
They'll try to throw now. Prescott. Steps back. He can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down.
But nothing takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
No, now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
They'll need a big play here. Will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. Escaping the pressure right. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, partner, nothing comes open here, so he decides to escape out of there, and he doesn't pick up a first down, but he does gain additional yardage to set up a possible field goal attempt if they decide to go that route.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. The results for them so far, not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet, trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
On first down, here's Breida. Slipped 1 tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for 2nd down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Throwing on 2nd and 14. Rosen. 1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Complete to the running back, Matt Breida. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. The Dolphin passing game rolling here. They've got another first down. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
On 2nd down, it's Drake. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Oh, Rosen is stripped to the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, the teammate is able to come up with the ball.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. The intended receiver was Jakeem Grant, and it's 3rd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Here's Matt Hawk now. He's been terrific so far. So we have come to halftime here in Dallas with the Cowboys out in front. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
First down, Dolphins.
54.
I don't even know why this team showed up.
This is Breida. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
From the 40 now on second down. Rosen. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. DeMarcus Lawrence has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. On third down, Rosen. And Wilson has it. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on third down. Wilson now in his second season in Miami. First 4 years were in Kansas City. He's always been a solid complementary receiver, but Miami really hoping he can take the next step in his development, be more of a go-to guy now at 27 years of age. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. Rosen to his tight end, Gesicki, and brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 12 more yards there and another first down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Now Rosen on first down. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed, but all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
So it's 3rd and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive. Again, it's Rosen. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Leighton Vander Esch. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Pretty good results here on the first down run as he takes this forward for about 6. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
On second down and 4, Prescott. And there is Amari Cooper, his first catch. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards, a first down.
It's funny when I go back to our pregame meeting with Amari Cooper, and we mentioned, what if they play man coverage against you? He almost seemed offended by it, didn't he?
I'll beat it. That's basically what he said, right?
I mean, the best receivers we've ever talked to and covered, when you talk about covering them with one guy, they think that's a personal affront. If they feel like if they can't just beat one defender, then they're not very good.
A gain of 9 brings up 2nd and 1 at the 49-yard line.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
Here we go.
Here's Prescott. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Charles Harris coming in hard that time on the blitz, and he gets him down. It's a loss of 4.
Here we go. Wide angle. Here we go. Kill.
Hey, we heavy on the edges, heavy on the edges.
Prescott from the gun on 3rd. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Cobb. It's a pickup of 6.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 47. Elliott. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Give them 15 there, and the Cowboys have a first.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
They run on 1st down as they get about 3. 2nd and 7 forthcoming. A gain of 3, 2nd down. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Check the out. Check 3. Hey, kill. 26.
Prescott to throw it. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Charles Harris able to record his 5th sack of the season. You think back to last year, Dak Prescott was sacked 56 times, 2nd most in the league behind Deshaun Watson of the Texans. They'll need a big play here, will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long.
Check. 59. Watch the screen. 26.
Prescott from the gun. And he hits Jason Witten, the tight end. And he's going to get this to the 31, but that is still well short of what he needed. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side. I
would say that you've pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the 3rd quarter. They'll start on the ground with Breida, and he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32.
Sean Lee on the tackle. A gain of 4. It's now 2nd down.
This will probably be the last play of the quarter, and that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
59.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Rosen. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Matt Breida, his first touchdown of the new season, as his guys are an extra point away now from taking the lead here in the fourth. A very important extra point there, up and good, and they have taken the lead here in this fourth quarter. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on.
It's caught inside the 25. And all the way down to the 22-yard line. A big play here for Dallas. 57 yards.
First and 10 at the 22-yard line.
Last year, Dak Prescott had 3 fourth-quarter comebacks, and he's in search of another one right now.
Watch twitch. Watch twitch. Jump. 26.
A first down throw for Prescott. Going right side, he has Witten. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. A good-looking drive for the Cowboys so far. It's a first down. And the question now, how do they want to work the clock here on first and goal? A field goal would give them the late lead. Here's Prescott. That's complete right around the 8. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, his second touchdown on the season. And the Cowboys have retaken the lead. All right, now a big 2-point conversion attempt still to come.
Let's go. Sit. Hey, kill.
And again, it's Prescott. Forced out, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Tried to roll out and make a play outside of the pocket, but couldn't get it done.
When you don't have a lot of space for your receivers to operate, and down there it's really condensed when you're snapping the ball from the 2-yard line, rolling out, you extend the play, but you don't necessarily open up better avenues for people. And on that play, there's just nowhere to go with the ball, and you end up getting sacked.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
That's good for 28 yards. Running out of the gun here, Breida. He takes it down to the 42, a 5-yard run.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. 2nd and 5 now. Rosen. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Devontae Parker, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Dolphins are once again going to retake the lead. Now Rosen, and this one's caught. And their fourth quarter lead grows by a couple more. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
Set the tone, defense. Set the tone, defense. Let's go.
Prescott on first down. And that's Elliott, complete. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Prescott. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
They'll need a big play here, will Dak and the Cowboys. After the sack, it's 3rd and long.
Rush in. Rush in.
Hey, kill. 27. 26.
To throw is Prescott. And this is caught. Amari Cooper. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion. Looking back to Cooper's numbers from last year after that trade, he ended up playing 9 games with the Cowboys in 2018. 725 yards, 6 scores. Also had the 100-yard game in the playoffs against the Rams. And if you add up the numbers between the two teams last year, he was over 1,000 for the 3rd time in 4 NFL seasons. Now a man open down the middle of the field. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. That goes for a gain of 31.
That could very well be a defining play in this game. A touchdown, that gives them the lead, and they took a major step towards getting there with that big play right there.
A first down carry by Elliott. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Prescott caught by Cobb. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Here we go, 3rd and 1. Gut check time on both sides.
Hey, we got to get this stop here, D.
Now Prescott. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Marr able to put this one through. And in the 4th quarter, this game is tied. Well, you talk about clutch. That one was right down Broadway, and this game's all even here in the 4th.
Yeah, he didn't leave any doubt, did he? Good snap, good hold, dead center. Almost like a big-time golfer in a major, firing at a pin from the fairway, trying to win the tournament going down the stretch.
The Dolphins take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. They've got a second down now as they search for a score to break this tie. Here's Breida. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
They're able to locate Wilson. He's going to go. Albert Wilson. A big play there on the catch and run. 58 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. On play action, Rosen fighting to stay upright. Fights loose. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
Well, that wasn't a completion, but it wasn't a sack either. So the good takeaway, able to extend the life of the play. Normally, you would think he'd just take off and run downfield, but he was trying to find an open receiver, unable to do so.
So after the incompletion on first, now second and 10.
Me and you all day. All day. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
Rosen to throw. This will be caught at about the 6. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. 11 yards there, first down.
Nice, well-coached, a team that understands what's going on. They still have time to work the middle of the field as they just did there.
Let's go.
A game-winning field goal would be a chip shot from here. Let's see how they play it on first and goal. Throwing now is Rosen. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Leighton Vander Esch wreaking havoc with a sack. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now, as it comes with exactly a minute to go in the football game. Moved back to the 10. They'll try on second and goal here. Here's Rosen. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game.
Second goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
This is third and goal now. 80,000 on their feet here in Arlington. Now it's Rosen. And it's caught. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. A terrific job there to keep him out of the end zone. And now it'll be fourth and goal. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This to take the lead here in the final minute. Sanders' kick is good. And the sideline celebrates as they have taken the lead in the final minute. So he's able to come through in a hostile environment, and you'd have to imagine that's the game winner.
Yeah, how about that? And the way that this game's gone, you think they really wanted to get to overtime and take their chances there? They wanted to get this thing done. When you're the visitor, you don't want to play into overtime. You want to knock it down, get it done, and go home.
The Cowboys take over first down 10 at their own 17-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. So you're right there, but obviously the clock is not your friend. How do you handle this situation?
You're thinking 2 plays. One, to get yourself in position for the second one, whether you're able to get into field goal range or you have to try another deep pass, another Hail Mary. But you're trying to get the first one to a receiver, get out of bounds, and give yourself a chance to set things up for an easier shot at it.
Let's see if they can do it. Might be easier said than done. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
29 is Mike 29.
We're going to 54. Right here.
Getting some penetration.
Back 26.
One last shot now for Prescott. He's going to let it fly. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for the Dolphins, it's back-to-back victories now after the Week 1 defeat as they move to 2-1. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Dallas, the early struggles continue as they'll sink to 0-3. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in New Orleans against the Saints. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.